Welcome in to the standard. Our Pittsburgh Steelers are back in the win column and hold first place in the AFC North for another week with a 34-12 dominant win over the Cincinnati Bengals. Jack, we'll start it off with you as always. Initial thoughts on this game, reactions. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers got hurt. Mason Rudolph came in second half, but Steelers dominated this one.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it's impossible to say that you're disappointed with an effort like that. It felt like it was closer probably than the score indicated, simply because they had two defensive touchdowns later in that game that made them pull away. But it's a good win. It's what you're supposed to do when you play the Bengals at home. Joe Flacco finally didn't obliterate us for the first time in God knows how long. The Rodgers injury sucked, definitely put a damper on it, but it was a good win.
Yeah, I mean, can't complain. Defense, 2 touchdowns was the big thing for me, obviously. I think what we'll talk about a lot is like obviously Aaron Rodgers going down and what that means for the Steelers' outlook moving forward. Although all we know at the time of this recording is the report that he has a slight break and he's getting more testing done Monday morning. So, like, a more firm time period. I'm sure will come out tomorrow, probably when you're listening to this, of when exactly Rodgers will be out. But we're going to make everything we say about Aaron Rodgers, let's go with the assumption that he's out at least a couple of weeks. It doesn't sound like he's going to be out the entire season as of this moment, but I'm going to assume that he's out for at least a couple of weeks here. So Aaron Rodgers, 9 of 15, 116, one touchdown before he went out with the injury today in one half, basically. I don't think he looked bad. I mean, I was it great? No, but like, I don't know. Like, the Steelers were they were leading this game, they were winning. It wasn't pretty by any means, but have you ever once looked at the Steelers offense this season and you're like, yeah, this looks really good. This looks sustainable. This is a well-run offense that's being quarterbacked perfectly. They have a great run game. They have great weapons. Has it ever looked like that? No.
I guess the only time that it did was the other game against the Bengals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I don't think Rodgers necessarily looked bad. Maybe you can hope for a little bit more when you play the Bengals at home. I mean, it's one of the worst defenses literally in the history of the NFL. But they had a lead the whole time he was in. Didn't think he looked particularly bad. So and it's definitely going to suck losing him. So yeah, not great.
I won't stand for people sitting here and being like, oh, it's fine. We have Mason. Guys, it's fine. We have Mason Rudolph. Let's not underplay the fact that Aaron Rodgers is going to be out for several weeks and we are going to have Mason Rudolph out there slinging the rock. Okay. And nothing against Mason Rudolph. I think we're a pro Mason Rudolph podcast. We like him. We were excited when he came back to the Steelers. He had that Linsanity run in 2023 that we're all very fond of. And 12 of 16, 127 a touchdown today. I mean, it wasn't crazy. This game was over in the second half. He didn't really bomb the ball down the field when he did. It was DK Metcalf pushing off his defender because he can't separate whatsoever. Different discussion for a different time. But Mason Rudolph, I thought he played fine as well. I mean, no complaints. But this is my whole thing. It's a good win. It's good that Steelers won this game because beating the Bengals to me this year doesn't mean anything, to be perfectly honest with you. It is the worst defense my eyes have ever seen, and they're without their $200 million quarterback. But losing twice to them would have said everything we needed to know about this team. It would have been over, buried, dead. It might just be buried and dead because they lost their starting quarterback for at least a couple of weeks, and the schedule coming up, not great, but, good win for the Steelers overall.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that you're not moved by a home win against the Bengals.
Yeah.
And I definitely agree. If they were to lose that game, I would 100% be on the boat of, yeah, this is over, go down with the ship, tank. So it's kind of like a lose-lose scenario for the Steelers. Like, you're really just not going to gain the support of fans back no matter what, just because the team's so bad. It's more so you can just avoid letting them drift further away. But yeah, they won. Can't really complain about it because they won by 22 points.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, they did what they had to do.
I'll say this: Aaron Rodgers being out for at least a couple of weeks. Mike Tomlin's safe for another year. Any hope or any dreams you had of him getting traded or getting fired or anything? Not that it was going to happen, but Now you can really put that to rest. That shit is definitely not happening now because he'll have the Mason Rudolph excuse. He'll have someone else to blame but himself. And I mean, we can't blame the defense in Tomlin today, I suppose, because they scored twice. James Pierre got a touchdown. He played phenomenal, by the way. We'll talk about him in a little bit. But
He did.
I mean, overall, the Steelers' offense, I think, just kind of looked like it has all season long. They are what they are at this point. Like I keep saying every week, I feel like Jalen Warren, 10 rushes, 62 yards. Kenneth Gainwell, 9 for 24. But Kenneth Gainwell is also the team's leading receiver with 7 catches for 81 yards and a pair of touchdowns. This guy, man, he's so good out of the backfield. He shined all through training camp, and he had a lot bigger role early in the season. And I think it was week 2. I went back and listened after somebody mentioned it on our live earlier. It was the week 2 podcast where we talked about Kenneth Gainwell was going to lead this team in touchdowns. It still holds up, and we are entering week 12 now. So shout out us. Good job, us.
I mean, as per usual, we're the knower of all things. We're never wrong about anything.
Never been wrong once.
Yeah, Kenneth Gainwell played incredible today. I mean, we've been beating the Kenneth Gainwell drum that he's like at least closer to the best back on this team than the majority of Steeler fans think. It is really not a drop-off when you go from Warren to Gainwell. It is fairly comical that Gainwell was the team's leader in both receptions and yards and touchdowns, receiving-wise. That probably shouldn't happen when you pay DK Metcalf $30 million a year. But, again, another discussion for another day. I'm not trying to be negative. Kenneth Gainwell played awesome. I can't complain about his performance, at least.
It's the second stray that DK has caught already, and we're about 6.5. We're about 7 minutes into this. So I don't know. Let's see how many more strays DK Metcalf can catch. But Caleb Johnson
more than passes
also
he'll catch next week.
Probably, I'd be willing to bet so. How many did he have today? 5? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
It's got to be a season high for DK.
I think it's at least tied for a season high.
49 yards. Wow, good for him. I'm really proud of him. How many fouls did he have? Only 2, 3, I think.
Only 2 penalties today.
Somewhere around there. Proud of him for that one. But Caleb Johnson also got some run today. 5 carries, 15 yards. Whatever. I said this earlier on the live. I think Caleb Johnson has like such a big confidence issue. There's no like real like backing I have to this, but just hear me out, guys. The kickoff thing against Seattle was inexcusable, terrible, awful, everything under the sun. They removed him from kickoff return duties, and basically he's just been doing nothing for the last month and a half after that. Now they're like slowly easing him into the offense. Maybe it was because Jalen Warren did go out with an injury that looked pretty ugly when it happened, but he did return to the field, I guess. But Caleb Johnson, he had a good run to the outside, grabbed on a Bengals defender's face mask, basically ripped him to the ground, and had a pretty nice run called back. I just think he loses his mind. It's like rookie jitters to the max. I don't know what he's doing out there. He like loses his mind. He's somewhere else mentally. He's there physically. Mentally, he's somewhere else. I don't know what to do to fix him, but very concerned about him. If you weren't concerned about Caleb Johnson, you're lying to yourself. But like, we're looking at like year 1. This might have well have been a red shirt. Like he just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, like I don't necessarily think that Caleb Johnson looks bad out there or looks outmatched out there when he actually gets run. I agree with you. I mean, there's no way that we can prove it. I mean, we don't know the guy. We don't talk to the guy. We're not inside the locker room.
Yeah.
But it definitely makes sense. I think the kickoff thing like just absolutely derailed his confidence like to the max. I don't think he has been right since that happened. Not saying there's an excuse for that because there isn't. It's one of the worst plays in the history of the NFL. But it's definitely tough when you're a rookie. High expectations because you're a running back drafted in the 3rd round. Those guys are usually expected to make an impact quick. And then immediately the fan base turns against you because of a horrible play that happens in week 2. Week 2? Yeah. And I just don't think he's been right mentally since. But I really don't think he's a bad player per se. I think he will be fine in the future. But yeah, at this point I agree with you. It just looks like he just kind of has no idea what he's doing out there mentally.
This was another game for the Steelers offense for me. I'm like amazed that they can move the ball, to be perfectly honest with you. Again, I know they scored 14 of their 34 points because of the defense in this one, but just like, I mean, Kenneth Gainwell was the leader in receptions and yards. And then Darnell Washington, who played a phenomenal game, by the way, 4 catches, 67 yards. Yes, 6'7".
And he's 6'7".
And he is. By the way, guys, Steelers tight end room power rankings, by the way. Darnell
He's
Washington, number 1.
all the way
Easy.
back up to 1.
Easy number 1. Number 2, DK Metcalf. Welcome back to the tight end room power rankings. 3rd, Pat Freiermuth. Good for him. 4th, Jonnu Smith. I don't know what the fuck he does. And then number 5, Connor Hayward. Listen, the Connor Hayward tush push. That's funny and cute and all. I get we're trying to act like Connor Hayward is actually a valuable member of this football team and that he's not just some Nepo baby. I'm sick of it. I don't want to see it anymore. That 4th and inches that the Steelers got, absolutely gifted a first down by the refs. Refs were terrible today, by the way. I'm not one to say, oh, the refs sucked. The refs blew the game. The refs were really bad on multiple occasions today. That was one of them. Connor Hayward was well short of the line to gain on that.
Yeah, and then they show the replay, and was it Gene Steratore? He was like, he might look a little bit short, but like I really don't think you can consider this conclusive evidence. So I'm gonna say this one's gonna hold up. It was 100% conclusive. He did not get there. He was like a whole foot short. I don't know how that. It was like when the Rams game, the Kenny Pickett year where he started the majority of the games, when he had that QB sneak on 4th down. 100% didn't get it, but like the Rams didn't have a timeout, so they couldn't. There was some bullshit that so they ended up ending the game on that, but reminded me of that.
Yeah. Exactly like that. And I think what it was it was called a first down on the field. And I don't know what exactly conclusive evidence is on a tush push or a situation like that, because there's not going to be a good angle where you can see the ball and the ball carrier moving in a mass of humanity, I guess. So that's probably what it came down to. But it was just pathetic. I don't want to see it ever again. I don't fucking want to see it.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
If they're going to have Rodgers out there, just standing in the backfield, not doing anything, why don't you just put I don't know, anybody else out there and have them push? Am I wrong to say that?
Literally anybody.
They have somebody out there that's going to contribute to the play in the slightest.
I think you even said this earlier. Why are they not doing that with Darnell Washington?
Yes.
Why are they not?
That guy is a fucking monster.
I just don't get why we're trying. Who are we trying to impress with the Connor Hayward shit? Is it Cam? I think it's it has to be. What are we trying to do?
It makes no sense. We're trying to act like he's some Taysom Hill Swiss Army knife. He's just not. He's good at nothing.
Jack of all trades, master of none. Connor Hayward.
Jack of no trades. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Pat Freiermuth, a real riveting game from him. 1 catch, 19 yards. After Aaron Rodgers said in his press conference this week, yeah, Pat's a really good player. We need to get him the ball more. I mean, I fucking wrote an article about Aaron Rodgers saying that. And in his career, Pat Freiermuth, he averaged over 60 yards, has a touchdown in every single game, or he averages a touchdown a game against the Bengals. This is the team he's usually good against. And he had one catch. One fucking catch. Calvin Austin, 1 catch, 5 yards. Congratulations, buddy.
That was Wilson, also on a 3rd and 10, and it was a 4-yard hour out there. Rodgers threw at his ankles. It's
Roman Wilson, 1 catch, 17 yards. I don't know what it is about Roman Wilson. Every time he gets the ball thrown at him, Rodgers screams. Just gets really fucking angry. Do you remember the one? I think it was maybe the play before Rodgers broke his wrist, where he threw a 4-yard out route to Roman Wilson. And it was 2 feet above his head. Maybe if an 8-foot tall person was out there, they would catch that. Not Roman Wilson. He's just a little guy. But
he also threw it 5 yards short of the end zone on 3rd down.
Yeah. It was uncatchable as all hell could be. And Rodgers is screaming. They pan the camera to him and he's screaming. Roman Wilson, I don't know. It's somebody else on the sideline. I don't know. Why are you mad? The throw was not good.
Nobody yells at Roman Wilson and gets away with it.
Yeah. We'll defend Roman Wilson with our life on this podcast. By the way,
this is a Roman Wilson podcast.
I can't. I'll have to look at snap counts and stuff when they come out tomorrow. I swear to God, Roman Wilson played so much more in the second half when Mason Rudolph was in.
Yeah, I think he did.
I don't understand why. I couldn't
Maybe
tell
like
you.
Rodgers doesn't want him out there, but like the Steelers do. And then when Rodgers like wasn't on the sideline, they were like not afraid to put him in the game. I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe Rodgers has that much say. But he's like, I don't want this fucking bum out there. Maybe. I don't know. All right, we'll move on to the defense. One of my favorite weekly activities is to just like watch Patrick Queen play football. Like just like guys, next time you're watching a Steelers game, just one play, just like watch number 6 the whole time for a snap. Just watch him work. It's a thing of beauty. Let me tell you what, that guy, I don't know, dude. There was one today where I literally just watched him and he just like shuffled back to the left, to the right. The Grant Cohn clip where the 49ers guy where he's talking about that's all that Kyle Juszczyk does, and he shuffles to
Yeah.
the left and he shuffles
Yeah.
to the right. That's Patrick Queen. That is what Patrick Queen does.
He just goes out there and like acts like he's trying.
But game ball James Pierre.
He was
Holy shit. I don't get it.
I am officially saying I'm officially okay with rolling with James Pierre as a starting cornerback.
Wow.
With nobody hurt.
Wow.
He has been the best outside corner on this team, and it has not even been particularly close.
Now,
I mean,
let me
Slay and
ask you this.
JPJ have not been good enough to justify playing him over Pierre.
Let's say everybody's fully healthy next week. Slay or Pierre?
Pierre.
JPJ or Pierre?
I was going to say, JPJ and Pierre, but Pierre's probably been better than JPJ, hasn't he?
Yeah, he probably has been. That's kind of crazy. Is James Pierre our best corner? I mean, they made it an emphasis to go out and get some fucking corners this offseason. And
they
James
still
Pierre
have
is
an
just
issue.
the best one. Yeah, they still have a massive issue.
Nice one.
Brandon Eccles, by the way, another great game for him. Did not play well last week after we were trying to give him his flowers, but had another good game today.
Is Ramsey going to move back to corner when Elliott comes back?
I don't know, dude. I hope so.
By the way, that was absolutely miraculous, too, that Elliott's not out for the year. That looked like it was going to be devastating.
Yeah, I know. I thought that shit was over.
It's that Steelers devil magic, dude.
It really is. I mean, James Pierre, fumble reception, touchdown. And, of course, we had Kyle Duggar. What the fuck?
He almost had a pick six in like the first quarter, too.
Yeah.
He dropped. Would have been gone.
Shout out Kyle Duggar, by the way.
Played pretty well. Let's see what Kyle Duggar's PFF grade was today.
Yeah.
I'm interested now because I felt like he played really well. Not that I take a lot of stock into PFF grades, but it's a decent tool to use for safeties because let's be real, you guys aren't evaluating safeties through all 22, so you at least let the organization do it for you.
My favorite thing to do is evaluate defensive backs by how many interceptions they have.
66. That's the Chargers game. Never mind.
Grades aren't even out yet. Wow. And looking at the sack numbers here. Who didn't have one? Let's take a guess. Guys, I did it during the live. If you're listening to the podcast and you didn't listen to the live, here's some trivia for you. Who has more sacks this season? One of the highest paid non-quarterbacks in the National Football League. I believe the only ones that are paid higher than him are like Micah Parsons and maybe Jamar. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But TJ Watt's one of the highest paid non-quarterbacks in the league, point being. Or Nick Herbig. Who has more sacks?
Yeah, that's really a tough one. It's a tough one.
That's all I have to say about that for the time being. But what did you think of the Jalen Ramsey, Jamar Chase situation? What did you think?
I don't blame Jalen Ramsey. He got fucking spit on. I thought he should have been more aggressive.
When it happened, I don't think anybody knew.
I didn't know that he got spit on. Yeah, I was pissed when it happened because.
Oh yeah, I was pissed as hell at Ramsey because that was like he gave the Bengals a first down and they were in field goal range, and now the announcer said that Chuck Clark was entering the game for the Steelers. That's like disaster mode.
Uh-oh.
Like that's how we literally have nobody starting at safety. We have Jalen fucking Ramsey out there, and then you're gonna put goddamn Chuck Clark out there. Are you kidding me? we're cooked. That's what I was thinking. I was so convinced that Joe Flacco was going to be able to throw all over us this game. He really didn't. Only 199, touchdown, and interception. And it's really sad that I have to worry about a 42-year-old giving us the business as the highest paid defensive unit in the entire league. Not good. Not good. But
Did you see Paul Zeiss tweeting about this?
yeah, but go ahead and say
Dude, he I need to find the exact he said like
is he still with the Fan? I don't
no,
think he is.
No. That's probably for a reason. He was tweeting. I just basically said like he was arguing with people. He was like, "There's no evidence that Jamar Chase spit on Jalen Ramsey." He was like, "It's a classless and immature move by Ramsey to punch him and get ejected from the game." And that tweet like exactly had like 0 likes and like 63 replies. Just like I saw like 30 videos, like 30 different angles of Chase spitting on Ramsey, and it was just like it's as clear as it possibly can be.
I saw one even worse than that from Paul Zeiss. I really think it was him. He was on a heater earlier, apparently.
On fire.
I need to find it. So he tweeted that bullshit, and then he said something. He said something about how he can't wait for.
Oh, the tweet was, "Can't wait until Ramsey claims Chase used a racial slur." First of all,
what are you?
What the fuck is he talking about?
What are you saying?
They're both black. Hold on. Here's okay. He goes, he spit on him. That worked for you. He goes, the second most popular excuse used by guys who lose their mind. And then he goes, "Did you see him spit on him? Because I've seen no camera angle that suggests he did." And he goes, "There's no evidence on video he spit on anyone. And Ramsey shouldn't have got the hell away from him anyway, but instead wanted to run his mouth. It is stupid, period. Stupid, selfish play, and anyone defending it is a fanboy moron." Oh my goodness.
Dude, 3:31 p.m. Jalen Ramsey is not very bright.
I don't think that really got anything to do with intelligence. Would you let somebody spit on you? Like
no. Like, all right, I think like everybody, I was pissed when it happened because I'm like, dude, what the actual fuck are you doing? You're making Chuck Clark play for my football team. This game is not over. But when he got spit on, yeah, like whatever, who cares? Go after him. I don't care. And now Jamar is probably going to get suspended for a game because Jalen Ramsey got suspended for, not Jalen Ramsey, Jalen Carter of the Eagles got suspended for doing something very similar to Dak Prescott.
He got ejected from the game, but he didn't get suspended because there was not a play ran in the game yet.
I mean,
which is a hilarious technicality. They just considered that the suspension.
There is no evidence on video he spit on anyone, and Ramsey shouldn't have got the hell away from him anyway, but instead, he wanted to run his mouth. It is stupid, period. Stupid, selfish play. And anyone defending. Like, dude, he's so angry when he's tweeting all of this. So angry.
Yeah. Like, it's just such a weird stance to take. Like, you're wrong.
I mean, this was, like, after, like, the video came out, too. Like, he knew. He fucking knew.
Yeah.
By the way, after the Steelers got absolutely torched by Jamar Chase, 13 receptions last game, 3 catches for him today, 30 yards. Phenomenal job by the defense today. As critical as we've been of them, and deservedly so. This is a game they had to have, and they finally were able to make Joe Flacco look like he's 42, and they held Jamar Chase in check. However, Mr. Higgins, T. Higgins, oh my God, I was so pissed when T. Higgins was the one to score because I knew Mike Tomlin is like, yeah, Mr. Higgins is so good. He's so good. Mike Tomlin fucking loves him. I didn't listen to hear if he called him Mr. Higgins in the press conference this past week, but I'm sure he did. Wouldn't be surprised. But only 3 catches for him as well. Yeah, overall, no complaints about the defense.
Yeah, I mean, it's just incredibly annoying how inconsistent they are. I mean, if they could play like that 90% of the time instead of 50,
but they won't.
We'd be much better off. But yeah, they won't. There's a fine line between smashing grapes and drinking wine.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking. I have another one for you. You have to lose 8 games to win 9. Keep that in mind moving forward. 6-4 Steelers still hold on to the AFC North in first place. We're going to do something a little fun here. Somebody asked for this on the Instagram Live. I forget the name. If you remember, shout them out. But shout out you because this was a great idea. Our top 5 biggest disappointments so far for the Pittsburgh Steelers this season. Do you want to start off, Jack? Number 5. Who are you most
Sure, do we want to
disappointed
go
with?
like me, you, me, like that?
Yeah.
Okay. At number 5, the 5th player I've been the most disappointed with, I had Caleb Johnson. I expected more production, more reps. When you spend a 3rd-round pick on a running back, that's the position where you would expect a 3rd-round pick to get the most run, because of how replaceable running backs are viewed as in the NFL. Put out good tape in college, was very good for Iowa. Had an okay preseason. It wasn't anything amazing, but I expected him to start the year off like mixing into the rotation, but he hasn't really done much of anything at all except for the one drastic play in week 2 that we won't speak of. But yeah, I think that's where I'm going to start off my list.
That's kind of crazy. I swear we didn't coordinate this, guys. At 5, I also have Caleb Johnson. And let me say this. I feel bad putting Caleb Johnson on here because at the end of the day, how much should we realistically expect from a 3rd-round pick running back in his rookie year? Probably not a ton. I guess they kind of drafted him and everybody just assumed, yeah, he's going to be RB1. He's going to be the best running back in the room, which is, I mean, a pretty low bar, I guess, when it's Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell. Not a good running back room at all, but he's just not been good as any of them. I mean, it's been terrible. He hasn't gotten any runs, so I feel bad harping on him, being like, this guy straight up sucks. I'd like to see him get a lot more usage, but at the same time, I'm at the point where I just want the Steelers to draft another running back. I keep Caleb Johnson, sure, but I need them to draft another one at this point because you can't go into next season with another year of a Jalen Warren, Kenneth Gainwell, Caleb Johnson running back room. Would not be good for business.
Can we just keep Kenneth Gainwell? Is that possible?
I would like
the only
that.
one.
I would like that.
It's got to be the lead back, but I would like him to.
Is he a 1-year deal?
I want to say it was 2. I want to say.
Oh, spot
I'm not.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm not 100% certain that's accurate, though. It might be 1. It's either 1 or 2.
Oh, dude, it's a 1-year deal. Oh, no.
I'd imagine they bring him back, though.
1 year, $1.7 million.
I mean, that is such a steal.
Wow, dude. That's awesome. He's going to lead this fucking team in touchdowns. We said that week 2, by the way. That's why you tune in.
That's why you tune in. This is why we listen. 4. We got none other than Joey Porter Jr. He hasn't been the worst corner in this room, thanks to a guy that'll be named later on my list. But I would say I had higher expectations for him than others said corner, simply because he put out a good rookie year. Last year was a down year. Couldn't stop committing penalties. I mean, that's a typical problem for young, lanky, handsy corners to have. But it hasn't really been the penalties. I mean, they've still been there a little bit. He's definitely gone down on the penalties, but he just simply hasn't been very good in coverage. He still can't tackle either, which is weird considering how physical he is with his hands. He's not a good tackler whatsoever. I thought Ramsey would maybe help him improve that. I thought Ramsey was going to be a good mentor for him, but he has not been any good this year, and it's been unfortunate. I was hoping for more.
Yeah, completely fair. At number 4, I have none other than Jonnu Smith, Arthur Smith's best friend. Listen, Jack almost spit out his water. Guys, Jonnu Smith is a number 4 in the Steelers tight end room power rankings. The very good rankings, by the way. I think they're spot on. There's nothing wrong with them. Listen, I don't know what this guy does. It's to the point where I don't know why he's getting snaps over Darnell Washington. I even think Pat Freiermuth should get snaps over him because you're paying him more and he's probably better at this point. This is a guy who was wildly productive in Miami and had an outlier of a year, and anybody with 2 eyes could have told you that. The moment he got traded to Pittsburgh, all of his fantasy value is gone, all of his dynasty value is gone, all of his value as a player should have been gone then and there. Because, and this is coming from a guy who I had pretty good expectations for Jonnu Smith because of what he did last year. I read into it too much. Hand up accountability from me on that one. I thought that Arthur Smith would see the way he was utilized in Miami, and they're like, "Yep, this is the guy. We don't need another receiver because we have Jonnu Smith, and we got him as a part of a trade with Jalen Ramsey. We got both of them. Look at that. We got 2 Pro Bowlers. He's been, I mean, just dreadful. They're not using him in space. I mean, the whole purpose of his time in Miami was they would give him screens and they'd let him work in space. They'd hand him the fucking ball off, for God's sakes. None of that. No creativity whatsoever in the Steelers offense. That's probably an Arthur Smith issue too. But Jonnu Smith has just been disappointing as all hell could be this entire season. And he's subject to a lot of criticism. And I just don't even want to see him on the field at this point. Not sure why he's getting much run. He comes in at number 4 of my most disappointing Steelers so far for the 2025 season.
That is absolutely fair. I didn't really consider him simply because I don't really think I was expecting him to be anything special, but you're right. He probably has still gone very far below what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Even though my expectations weren't high, he's still somehow fell underneath them. At number 3, I have Darius Slay. And the only reason he's not higher is because I wasn't necessarily expecting him to be outstanding. But holy fuck, this guy has been terrible. My expectations weren't high, but I still thought, he's a veteran. He wasn't horrible last year. He wasn't bad. 3 years removed from a Pro Bowl season. I mean, when you think about it, that's kind of a lot. But I have maybe never seen a worse corner in my life on the outside. He has been, that game against the Bengals was one of the more brutal performances I've seen from an NFL player ever. He was chasing behind Jamar Chase and T. Higgins with 5 yards of separation the entire game. And I'm not using just one game as an example to prove this. It's been bad all year. Every single game, he has not played a good one. I think his most positive net value is this week because he didn't play. That's about all I have to say. The guy has been absolutely awful and fell very far underneath what I was expecting from him.
Yeah, number 3, I also have Big Play Slay, Mr. Darius Slay. Jack, good point. I think today was his best performance of the season because he didn't play for the Steelers. He wasn't a net negative for them for possibly the first time this entire season. All this guy has done is stole $10 million from the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. Thank God he is only on a 1-year deal. I heard a report that he might ask for his release. He's probably not going to, but do it. Please do it.
Yeah,
please. I don't care anymore. I don't know what his purpose is on this football team. After watching James Pierre today, and this is coming from the CEO of the James Pierre Hate Club, I don't need to see another snap from Darius Slay this entire year. I was a fan of this signing too. I thought it would be, pretty nice. Slay, JPJ, nice little duo out there. Obviously, we got Ramsey later in the offseason, but at the time, this seemed like a pretty decent move for the Steelers, have an older veteran, and, you have a good safety, 2 good safeties at the time that we acquired him over the top to, maybe make up for the fact that he's on the wrong side of 30 and aging very quickly. Did not look good for the last couple of years in Philadelphia. It was very up and down, but that was a really good defensive unit in Philadelphia, too. We have to keep that in mind. This is not a good defensive unit as a whole and in Pittsburgh. And it's showing this year. All he's done is give up big plays and lived up to the nickname Big Play Slay in that way. So he's number 3 for me as well.
Yeah, I mean, hard to disagree. That's probably why we have him in the exact same spot.
2 and 1, they have to be. We have to be maybe different order, but
I'm assuming we have the same
guys.
2 players. Yes,
Yeah.
it's probably a matter of what order we have them in. My second biggest disappointment of the year so far for the Steelers has been DK Metcalf. $30 million a year. $30 million a year. The guy has not played well since the Vikings game in London. I don't know. When you pay a receiver $30 million a year, he's got to be a target monster. The guys making more money are who? CD. CD's making more money. Chase signed like the biggest fucking wide receiver deal of all time. Um, there's like how many guys getting paid more? Five, four,
4.
four, and all of them are just absolute target monsters. How many targets per game does DK average?
Like, I think 5, and that's being
That is
generous.
absolutely absurd. Like, I just saw that contract to me. It looks really, really bad. I'm not going to say it was worse than somebody we'll get into in a few here, but it's been atrocious. I mean, he hasn't been a bad player, but his workload has just been not even near what it should be when you're getting paid as much money as he is. And people love to say, oh, well, there's nobody across from him. A lot of these other guys don't either. And they're still, like, is Cooper Kupp that much better than whoever the hell lines up across from DK Metcalf? I
Probably
don't think
not.
he is. And JSN still has managed to have the best wide receiver season in the NFL this year. It's just, I don't know. It has not been good.
Completely fair. All great points. But number 2 for me is Mr. TJ Watt. And people get upset at us when we talk about TJ Watt. And someone commented on our Instagram live earlier. They said, you can't put all this blame on TJ Watt for all the years he's carried the Steelers. To that I say, carry them to what exactly? Listen, TJ Watt is a Hall of Fame player. No doubt in my mind. TJ Watt is one of the best Steelers at their peak that I have seen play in the black and gold in my lifetime. That being said, he is at the stage of his career where he is on the wrong side of 30, and he's the second highest paid edge rusher in the entire league behind Micah Parsons, and he's not behind Parsons by very much. And how many sacks does he have on the year? I don't even
6.
know. 6. Great. Phenomenal. So, through 10 games, TJ Watt has 6 sacks. He held out and made cryptic social media posts and threw a fucking fit all offseason. And the Steelers finally caved, and they gave him $1 million more than Myles Garrett because they think he's better than Myles Garrett. Hilarious, by the way. Fucking hilarious. What has he done this season to show for it? Absolutely nothing. It's not a coincidence, guys. TJ Watt is not good in big moments. Big game TJ Watt is a real thing because he does not do anything in big games for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And unfortunately, it seems like every game this year has been a big game for him. By the way, he's been particularly quiet in a lot of them, in a lot of situations. This is a really bad contract. It's going to age very, very badly for the Steelers because edge rushers decline very fast. And edge rushers decline even harder as they get older. And let me tell you what, TJ Watt is on the wrong side of it all. This was supposed to be the number 1 defense in the league because when you are the highest paid defensive unit in the entire league, the expectation, the bar should be the number 1 unit against the pass, against the run. That should be the bar. And TJ Watt is the highest paid person on that unit, should be held to that standard. He has disappointed by every possible way this season. In every imaginable way, it's been disappointing. TJ Watt, number 2 most disappointing Steelers.
To follow that up, I mean, you essentially covered the whole thing. My number 1 most disappointing player this year has been TJ Watt. When you hold out or hold in, whatever the fuck you want to call it, whatever petty bullshit he was pulling, just so that he could get one more extra $1 million per year annually than Myles Garrett, because you know it's a fake rivalry, it's a one-sided beef. Myles Garrett is so much better than TJ Watt. It is not even funny. Myles Garrett has 11 sacks the last 4 weeks, 15 on the season. TJ Watt has 6. Myles Garrett has 2.5 times the amount of sacks as TJ Watt this year, and he's younger. And TJ Watt, the guy who's played for us his entire career, never won a playoff game, wants to hold out, force us to give him an extra $1 million annually over this one particular play. And you can say, oh, that is what it was. That is the reason why he wasn't signing for that long, because the Steelers didn't want to give him more money than Myles Garrett because they know he's not fucking worth that much. but they caved like everybody thought they were going to do, and they shouldn't have. And we're paying him the same. We're paying him $40 million when he's going to be what? 34, 33, 34?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all around bad. If you think the contract's bad now, just wait until the production continues to decline because he's getting older. So just naturally it's going to. That's how it works with literally everybody. He's just been bad for what we should be expecting. I mean, he has less sacks than what you said, Nick Herbig. He's getting paid $40 million. At the time of the contract, he was the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history for 6 sacks in 10 games. For a 31-year-old, 30-year-old, one of the two.
Yeah, 30, 31.
That's
who
about
cares
all
at
I
this
got. I
point?
mean, you covered most of it.
I mean, to the people that say, "Oh, well, Myles Garrett, his production doesn't matter because the Browns are 2-8." All right, guys, listen. I know everybody. Defense is important. Offense rules in this league. Offense rules. Browns have a completely terrible offense. Not that the Steelers don't, but let me tell you what, they've had a bit more competence on the offensive side of the ball for TJ Watt's career than the Browns have had for Myles Garrett's career. Also, there are just levels to this shit. I don't understand. TJ Watt, for the most part, he's a guy that wins one way. He's more of a speed guy, all right? He's got some good pass rush moves, no doubt. I wouldn't say he's particularly a finesse guy. He's definitely a speed guy. Myles Garrett's an everything guy. This guy's a freak of fucking nature.
Yeah, there's not one certain thing that he relies on to be good. He is absolutely. I think he's the.
He could.
I'll save that.
No, say it.
No, I'll
I
save
wanna
it for
hear
when we go over that game.
Oh, okay. I mean, Myles Garrett. People just think we're glazing at this point. By the way, I can hear people now. They're rolling their eyes.
It's
Myles
warranted.
Garrett, he could break the sack record this year. He could.
The point is that this is what you should be expecting when you pay a guy this much
This
fucking
should be
money.
the bar. Nobody is above criticism on the Steelers team. Nobody
No.
is above. Not a soul. I'm really disappointed that Aaron Rodgers is out because I love Aaron Rodgers, and it saves Mike Tomlin another year. It gives him a fucking out. It gives him an out for this fucking disappointment, and it was a disappointment of a season, but long before Aaron Rodgers got hurt. That's what pisses me off most about today, even though it was a win, and I'm happy about the win. But I'm sad that Mike Tomlin gets an out. So,
Yep.
Number one for me is none other than DK Metcalf. Words cannot express. Like, I can't. I just can't even do it. We traded a second round pick for him and gave him $150 million. This guy is the 4th highest paid receiver in the National Football League. Let's read some stat lines. His last 5 games. Here we go. Against the Bengals, 3 catches, 50 yards. Against the Packers, 5 catches, 55 yards. Against the Colts, 2 catches for 6 yards. Against the Chargers, 3 catches for 35 yards. And today against the Bengals, 5 catches for 49 yards. That brings his total to the season 551 yards and 5 touchdowns. DK Metcalf is not on pace to have 1,000 yards. Do we understand how pathetic that is? Do we understand that? Do we understand that there are 4 guys in the league making more money than him at the wide receiver position, and he is being used like he's a glorified tight end? Because to be honest with you, I'm not sure that he's much better than a glorified tight end. There was a really good comment on our podcast last week. Shout out this guy. I forget your name, but I appreciate you. And he brought up a really good point. He's a Seahawks fan, and he listens to this podcast every week. And there were a lot of concerns with DK his last couple of years in Seattle, where he plays like he's small. I think I said that last week, and that's what the guy was pointing out. Like, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you're noticing that, because he did that in Seattle. He plays like he's small. He's supposed to be some big-bodied, go up and get him receiver, but he's not that at all. He's supposed to be good in space, good with his speed. And the Steelers are kind of trying to utilize that, but they use him like he can do everything. Again, he's a jack of no trades, if you will. I don't know what DK Metcalf does particularly well for the Steelers right now. And again, maybe a lot of it is Arthur Smith. I'm even of the opinion that Arthur Smith deserves a lot more shit than people give him. But at some point, it, it's got to be on the players. I don't know what DK Metcalf does well for the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. He's going to be sub 1,000 yards. I cannot stress that enough. You're going to be paying $30 million this year and for the next several years. This contract gets worse the more it goes on. This is a guy that I think we've seen the best of. I don't know, guys. And listen, I will give him a bit of a break in the fact that he does not have a receiver 2 behind him. So that definitely puts some more pressure on him. But at the same time, that just proves he's not an elite 1. He's not.
I was just about to make that point. I'm of the opinion that if you pay a wide receiver $30 million a year, he should be expected to produce no matter the circumstances.
Yeah.
The other guys that get paid the same amount or more, are able to do that. So, and there's guys under him, in the leaderboards for annual payment that are able to do that as well. And if you think this contract's bad now, just wait for 4 years from now.
Oh,
And we're
my
still
bad.
paying him $30 million a year.
We said that there were 4 guys who make more than him. There are actually only 3 guys that make more than DK Metcalf. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and CeeDee Lamb. DK makes more money than Garrett Wilson, A.J. Brown, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, too, who are the 3 directly below him in the contract per year average type of thing. So, yeah, there we go. There's our top 5 most disappointing Steelers. Would love to update that at the end of the year, although
Yeah.
I don't know how much change
I
there
don't
will
know
be.
how much
Actually,
it's going to change.
maybe there will be a little bit with all this quarterback shit going on now. But at the same time, we're going to answer some questions from you guys. Follow the Instagram, join the broadcast channel where I usually ask this time Sunday night questions for the pod so Jack and I can answer. And let's get a couple of them. All right, this one comes in from #NoLimit_Nolan. Thank you for the question, Nolan. If the season ended today, we would be playing the Bills at home. What's your confidence level if we are fully healthy against them? Probably about a 2 for me. Probably about a 2. I think in a home playoff atmosphere, it doesn't matter because who wins? Who wins in big playoff games? Good quarterbacks and really good teams. What do the Steelers have? They don't have a good quarterback, and they certainly don't have a good team. The Bills might not have a good team in totality, but they have one of the best players on the planet in Josh Allen. So I would be at about a 2 for that one. I think they'd lose that game pretty easily.
By confidence level, is that like what % chance I think they have of winning that game?
I was rating it on like a scale of 1 to 10, but yeah.
Yeah, I would say like, well, yeah, I know like a 2 would be like a 20. You think they got like a 20% chance to win that game?
Yeah.
Okay, I would say I'm probably at like a 4, not because I think we're built to beat teams like that, but just because I don't think the Bills are like an unbeatable powerhouse necessarily. Like if you're asking me this question last year or 2 years ago, I would tell you like a 0. But the Bills have had games where they just look like absolute dog shit, and I don't think that's completely avoidable when you go into the playoffs. Like I do think it's possible that teams can just play like shit, and the Bills have shown that they are capable of doing that. And again, I hate to be. I want to try to be realistic because I don't think we're built to win playoff games. But like, I don't know. Yeah, I'll say a 4.
You're a lot more confident than me. All right, this one is just straight up Rudolph or Rodgers. Guys, I can't do this. I can't fucking do this. Again, pro Mason Rudolph podcast. I'm not going to be able to mentally handle the narratives that we're going to see over the couple weeks that Aaron Rodgers is out. I really won't be able to stand it. Mason Rudolph starting. This is actually a good one. Comes in from Sam_Jonesy11. If Rodgers has the Mateer injury and wants to come back at 50% in 3 weeks, but Mason wins the next 3, do you put Mason in or Rodgers at 50%? Listen, if Mason Rudolph goes out there and he beats the Bears, Bills, and Ravens, probably rolling with Mason over 50% Rodgers because he's not fully healthy. Fully healthy, I'm still taking Rodgers in that scenario, I think.
Yeah. I think
But
that's a lot
this
easier to
is
say now. I think that's a lot easier to say now than if
yeah.
Mason were to actually run through those three teams. I'd probably be just saying like, let's just keep running until it goes south. But yeah, 100%. I agree with you that I'm taking Rodgers over Mason Rudolph. If you're asking me who I want to start a game for the Steelers, um, Rudolph. It's not like he played bad; he played fine. But I mean, Jesus, it was like the worst defense in NFL history, and he was kind of just checking the ball down all game. Like he didn't really blow me away. I didn't think he was anything special today. So yeah, that definitely still Rodgers.
This one comes in from Eric Gower. Is it time to start a conversation about Aaron Rodgers? People are saying yes, but I think we give Rudolph at least a game or two, maybe. Well, it sounds like Mason's going to get a shot for at least a game or two. The conversation about Aaron Rodgers is forever going to piss me off, and nobody's ever going to want to hear it because nobody cares. Because I mean, this was a weird season for the Steelers in general. I think when it's all said and done, I don't think we'll look back at this season too fondly, to be perfectly honest with you. But I don't think there should ever be a conversation about like benching Rodgers, which I think is what you're getting at here. When you say that, should we start a conversation about Aaron Rodgers? Because the Steelers' offense is not set up to for success, really, for a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who's on the tail end of his career. He has one receiver who isn't very good, to be perfectly honest with you, and is being paid like he's a top 3 receiver in the National Football League. He's got 5 tight ends, 2 running backs that are just kind of, they're running backs, all right. Let me tell you what. It's just not a good situation, and the Steelers have asked him to do quite literally everything. And I think Aaron Rodgers, beyond the game against the Chargers, he played terrible. Not going to even try to defend that. But before that, I think he played as well as you could have possibly asked them to. That game against the Jets, week 1, they do not win that game with a lot of quarterbacks. Let me tell you what. But Aaron Rodgers just had a day that day for no reason whatsoever. I think Aaron Rodgers willed this offense to through a lot of times where maybe they shouldn't have been as good as they were early in the season, because they had me fooled for at least a little bit into thinking that they were a somewhat decent team and this team was different. It's always going to kind of upset me that, like, oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers wasn't really that good. No, he just had the entire weight of the franchise on his shoulders, which was completely unfair. So no, I don't think it's time for a conversation.
Yeah, I mean, the guy really doesn't have much help out there on offense. Aside from the GOAT, Kenneth Gainwell, he doesn't really have many playmakers that he can rely on. His $30 million receiver has been ass. Arthur Smith's not a genius necessarily with the offense. Though it's hard to necessarily pin blame on Arthur Smith because, again, he's not working with much. But I don't think he's very good, per se. But, yeah, I don't think it's time for a conversation about Aaron Rodgers either.
This one comes in Steelers by Xander. If Rodgers ends up out for the season, what percentage chance do you think he comes back for another year? I think it's 0. I mean, me and Jack have been joking for a couple hours now. Like, if Aaron Rodgers is out for the season tomorrow, he might as well announce his retirement. I'm not fucking joking. Like, it's so over at that point.
That would be like objectively hilarious if Aaron Rodgers just retired mid-season and just completely quit on the team. Like that would be awesome. I'm not rooting for it, but like, dude, it would be funny.
It would be fucking hilarious. All right. Roman Wilson's Louis V. Does Howard have a shot to play next year? I think if Rodgers is out for the rest of the season, I would rather roll with Will Howard than I would rather roll with Mason Rudolph, because I would be of the opinion, tank, get the best draft pick possible, know that you have something or nothing in Will Howard. Will the Steelers do that if Rodgers is out for the entire year? I'd say no. They'll still probably try to fucking squeak their way into the playoffs and roll with Mason Rudolph. But does Howard have a shot to play next year? I guess. What's he going to be at best? QB2? At best, probably QB2.
Yeah,
with
like I mean, I
he's
guess
probably
the
going to be QB3.
The odds say he has a chance to play next year, but I mean, I don't think any Steelers fans, if you think the team can compete, should want Will Howard to be getting meaningful reps. Again, people are going to misconstrue this and say that like I'm hating on Will Howard. I'm not expecting Will Howard to be good. I'm not going to be upset with Will Howard if he's not good. He was a 6th-round pick. That's what I don't get, why people are so hell-bent on this idea of him getting a shot to be the team's next franchise quarterback. That's not what you do with 6th-round picks. I don't know. He was picked 1 round before Chris Oladokun.
Yep.
Guys.
He's a 3-time champ, by the way.
He is.
Shout out Chris O. He got cut. We spent a 7th rounder on him, and then we just fucking cut him before the season.
Yeah.
Phenomenal use of draft capital by, I think that was still Kevin Colbert.
It was. That was the Pickett draft.
Phenomenal draft, by the way. Absolutely. Just a masterclass of a draft. I believe they got fucking Presley Harvin in that one, too. I mean, talk about all misses, no hits. Jesus Christ. I mean, George Pickens, that guy's pretty fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good pick.
Joe.ant10 says, should James Pierre be in over Slay going forward?
Yes.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yes.
I don't need to see 23 out there for the rest of the year. If he asked for his release tomorrow, I would not shed a tear. Let me tell you what.
I would grant that request. Without a doubt.
Trying to look for one more here. See if there's a good one. A lot of people talking shit about Jamar Chase.
That's fair.
Completely fair. He should be suspended for at least one game. Is there still hope for Broderick Jones? That one comes in from DeLong1738_. That's a good final question. Is there hope?
I go back and forth on this one. I really want there to be.
I want there to be, but like,
because I like him. I think like his head's in the right spot. I think he's a good teammate. That's outside of tackling Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that wasn't great, but like the dude cares, and I think he really wants to be a contributor on this team. He wants to be good. It just has not been good, and I don't know if he has it. I think he's got a longer leash because it was a first round pick, and we traded up for him. But like, I don't know. I'm losing hope.
People post the like the graphics of the picks, and we traded up for him, and Christian Gonzalez and Jackson Smith and Jigbo were both on the board. That stings a lot.
I wanted Gonzalez,
but like hindsight,
so bad.
We wanted. I loved Christian Gonzalez when they traded up for that pick. I wholeheartedly thought it was for Christian Gonzalez.
I had the Steelers.
A ton of people in my live, and I was like, guys, we traded up for Gonzo. I'm so happy. Yeah.
In like December, I had like mock draft, and I had the Steelers taking Christian Gonzalez. Like, that was my guy. I loved him so much going into like throughout that whole draft process. And I thought 100% we traded up that it was for Gonzalez.
Yeah. So there we go. Thank you for submitting your questions. We'll do more of that again next week, and I'm sure we'll have a lot of questions because it's going to be Mason Rudolph against the Chicago Bears, the Joey Invitational, some people are saying. But we'll go through these games, spend a couple minutes talking about all of them. Thursday night, Patriots 27, Jets 14. Travion Henderson's so tough. He's so tough. Love him. 3 touchdowns for my guy. Life is better when the team gives the ball to their best young players, and you're finally seeing it with Travion Henderson. Drake May, man, I know he's the MVP favorite. I still like, I don't know, dude. Like, I'm not denying that he's playing.
It is
awesome,
Stafford.
He's an elite
now.
quarterback.
Stafford's the favorite now.
I think it should be. But like, I'm not discounting that May's been awesome. I just think like they've played a fucking cakewalk of a schedule, and they lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers
at home.
And so how good could they really be, guys?
How good could you, like, real good teams don't lose at home to the Steelers. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, that doesn't happen,
work
guys.
like that. No, but yeah, May has been unbelievable. I mean, this was a Drake May podcast. I mean, we were both saying Drake May is the number 1 pick in the draft any year that Caleb Williams is not declaring. It just so happened to be that year. But yeah, he's been awesome. Maybe not the MVP, maybe not worthy of the MVP favorite, but you can't really say much to discredit the guy.
Yeah. All right, the Madrid game, the Dolphins 16, the Commanders 13. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I did not wake up to watch this bullshit. I was not going to fucking wake up and watch this. Deebo Samuel had a nice catch and run, but I mean, like, I don't know how he gets any separation. It's a miracle to watch him move and work nowadays. Let me tell you what. That's my Debo Samuel thought of the day. The Dolphins, though, they were 1-6. Now they're 4-7. I don't know. They've got a little bit of fire. They're not like completely and totally awful.
They're not like the
Devon
worst
A-Chain
team
is
in the
like,
league.
yeah, but like they're still pretty fucking bad. And the Commanders without Jaden Daniels, no heart, no soul, no anything.
No passion, no
It's just
aggression.
bad. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I'm kind of shocked the Chiefs didn't call up the Dolphins and offer them literally everything they had for Devon Achane.
I know.
Could you imagine that fit? Oh my gosh, he is such a stud.
Would have been wraps for the league.
Yeah. There's really not much else to talk about. The Commanders are fucking terrible without Jaden Daniels. I was playing against Marcus Mariota in a 2 QB league, and I woke up and the most recent play was a Marcus Mariota 44-yard run. I was like, what the fuck? Then I looked, he only had like 12 points, so I was like, okay, whatever. But
this one is actually fucking crazy to me. Panthers 30, Falcons 27. This game was a lot of fun. Bryce Young had 448 yards, the most passing yards in Panthers history for a single game. What the fuck? I think everybody's walking away from this game and they're like, that was the least impressive 448-yard game I've ever seen in my life. Bryce Young did not play good in this one, but he played phenomenal at the same time. It was so weird.
the thing about that too is the Falcons have a very good pass defense. Like their pass defense has been very
They were the
good
number
this
one
year.
passing defense going into this
And
game.
Bryce Young, 448, was it 3 or 4 touchdowns? 3?
3 touchdowns.
Dude, I'm fully in on Bryce Young again. I don't know. I don't know. I change my mind very often. He'll probably go out there next week and look like the worst fucking quarterback you've ever seen in your life.
Yep.
But I don't know, man. It's an absurd performance, especially to get the win too on the road. He got hurt twice in that game too, and kept coming back out onto the field and slinging that thing.
Shout out Bryce Young. Ted McMillan, 8 for 130, 2 touchdowns. That guy's a fucking stud, dude. I mean, he's so good. I said last week, I'm like, wait till the Panthers get a quarterback next year, and they're just peppering him with targets. It may be Bryce Young again next year, but like, holy shit, if they're able to find any type of consistency, this guy is such a stud. Such a fucking stud. Falcons have no first-round pick, by the way. Their first-round pick belongs to the Los Angeles Rams, who are currently 8-2. And, yeah, Falcons are 3-7, and Michael Penix re-aggravated his knee injury. Who could have known when Michael Penix came into the league that his knees were held together by scotch tape and rubber bands? Don't know what the fuck they're doing. Drake London also got hurt. That sucks.
Yeah, the Falcons are an atrocity. I don't know what's going on there. They're bad.
Bills 44, Buccaneers 32. God, I'm so glad this fucking Buccaneers bullshit is over. They're like so perfectly mid. It pisses me off. They overachieved like hell out of the gate and everybody lost their minds. Josh Allen and the Bills, they look kind of shaky in this one too. Like Josh Allen had 6 total touchdowns, and like towards the beginning, you were still kind of like, what the fuck is Josh Allen doing? Had a couple of turnovers, plays reckless, but this is exactly
Josh
what the
Allen
Bills
experience.
are. Seriously, he has to play hero ball for them every single week, but they go out there, they're 7-3. Big home win against the Buccaneers, who are a good team. I just think they overachieved and got incredibly overrated at the beginning of the year.
I would definitely agree with that. I mean, they're not a bad team by any means, but that record, they were not as good as it indicated, for sure.
Yeah. Texans 16, Titans 13. Good God, nothing to say about the Titans. 0 comments whatsoever. Davis Mills, I love that Davis Mills can go out there and sling the rock 41 times. Keep feeding Nico Collins, my guy.
Yes, please.
Texans 5-5. They've clawed their way. They're a 500 team. You said you think they're going to make the playoffs. They're in the thick of it in the AFC. A lot of shit at the bottom of the AFC. But yeah, they're there.
They got a very good defense. That's why I'm of the belief that they can sneak into the playoffs. I mean, especially in an AFC where that 7 seed spot is going to just be like a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah. Bears 19, Vikings 17. 9 took another loss to Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams didn't even really do shit this game. What?
So he took another loss to Caleb Williams.
Oh, I mean he took another loss.
Oh, another loss in general. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, 9 looked like shit.
Yeah,
I
9
mean,
did
can we
not
talk
play
about
well.
this?
That was not the best game for 9FC. I'll be honest. He's not look. It is kind of comical, like how much of a Kenny Pickett game it was. Just absolutely fucking atrocious for 3 quarters. Potential game-winning drive leads him down there and scores a touchdown absolutely flawlessly. And then Devin Duvernay returns a kick out into field goal range. And
I said this at the beginning of the year that JJ McCarthy reminds me of Kenny Pickett. The way he has to put his entire fucking body, every bit of might in his body has to go into a throw. Justin Jefferson looked like he wanted to kill himself by the third quarter of this one. Before the last drive, JJ McCarthy was 10 of 24, 74 yards, and 2 interceptions. That was a stat line for the day through like 3 quarters and 10 minutes of a football game. This guy was below 100 yards with a pair of interceptions. Terrible. Just not enough. I know Vikings fans are pissed, but like they're 4-6. This is a team that won 13 games last year. This is a team, they're ready to win. They are. They just need a somewhat competent quarterback. If only they had a guy like Sam Darnold. If only.
if only. Yeah, that's fair.
Bears are 7-3. They play our Pittsburgh Steelers in the Joey Invitational next weekend.
Dude, the fact that the Bears are 7-3 is somewhat sickening.
By the way, the Chicago Bears, with the Lions loss tonight, are in sole possession of first place in the NFC North. Who would have thunk that?
Not I.
Crazy. So, are the Bears 7-3 good? As big of a fan I am of the Bears, probably not. They're probably due for a loss. But I don't know. Mason Rudolph, do we really think he can beat the Bears? I don't know. We'll talk about that a little bit at the end.
He can. I don't think he will.
All right.
Actually, I don't know. Maybe I do think he will.
I don't know. Packers 27, Giants 20. We got the full Jameis Winston experience, and I love it. I love watching Jameis Winston play football. Got some Malik Willis action. Malik Maniac, stand by. Stand back and stand by. Had a touchdown pass today. Packers are so weird, dude. Like I
can't get a read on them whatsoever.
I don't know if they're actually good. I want to believe they're good, but they picked up a win over the Giants today on the road. Good for them, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. That's about all I can say.
Jaguars 35, Chargers 6. Chargers offensive line is just cooked. The Chargers are without their 2 starting tackles. They're without Omari and Hampton. I don't know what Justin Herbert has to work with out there. Fucking Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey.
Aronde Gadsden the second.
Aronde Gadsden, I love you.
I think he was their leading receiver today on 2 catches.
I mean, Herbert had like 80 yards passing, I think, before they just like took him out before he actually got murdered by his own offensive line. But
they only benched Herbert. They left everybody else in.
That's how you know. That's how you fucking know it's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, the Jags are 6-4, dude. They're feisty, if nothing else.
Guess who started the Chargers defense in both of his big money fantasy leagues this week?
Not ideal.
Yeah, that was
not ideal.
It's
okay. Good. I started the Falcons defense in a league.
Also not
because
good. Yeah.
I think I don't know who I had on a bye. Oh yeah, it was the Colts defense I had on bye. And I'm like, oh, Panthers, yeah, I like that. Number 1 pass defense against Panthers. Yep. Totally wrong. I suck. Fucking hate my Chungus life, right, guys?
Yep. Fuck my stupid chud life.
This game was a fucking heater. Rams 21, Seahawks 19. Sam Darnold was out there just fucking slinging it to anybody. He didn't care who it was going to, if it was on his team or not, but he was fucking throwing the ball to you. 4 picks for him. But the Rams, man, they're really fucking good. I wouldn't be surprised if they won it all. Seriously.
I think they're the best team in football.
They just might be, dude. And they have 2 first-rounders next year.
Nice. Thank you, Atlanta.
Great move, Atlanta. I hope James Pierce Jr. is worth it. I really fucking hope he's worth a top 10 pick because that's what you're staring down right now. 49ers 41, Cardinals 22. Shout out Jacoby Brissett. He has an NFL record, the most completions in a single game with 47 completions today. That is such an insane record to hold. That's going to be a trivia question 20 years down the line. Who owns the NFL record for the most completions in a game by a quarterback? It's going to be Jacoby Brissett. But if you're having a complete...
That is an absurd trivia question.
If you're having to complete 47 passes, my God, not good. This game was over when Sky Moore took the opening kickback 98 yards and they handed it off one time. It was Christian McCaffrey spawned with 6.1 fantasy points.
He literally did. Sky Moore returned the kick to the 1 yard line.
And Christian McCaffrey is literally StatPad FC's star player. I think Jack said that earlier. 3 touchdowns for him today. It's just fucking bullshit. 49ers are 7-4. God damn it, they're good. The NFC West is low-key crazy.
It's really good.
Other than the Cardinals, obviously.
Cardinals are a joke.
Terrible. They're so bad. Jacoby Brissett's been playing good, though. But, like, Jonathan Gannon, get him out of here. Please get him out of there.
I don't understand why he still has a job.
I don't know why.
It feels to me like easily the worst coach in football.
Nobody gives him enough shit. Nobody.
No.
I feel like nobody fucking talks about him because he's so goddamn irrelevant. He is terrible.
Yep.
Terrible. Ravens 23, Browns 16. Shedeur Sanders got in the game.
You said Jacoby Brissett made history. Not the only guy to do so today. Shedeur Sanders had the worst passer rating in a game in NFL history.
Wait. No, he didn't.
13.4.
Wait, really?
I forget which one's lower, passer rating or QBRs. I think it's passer rating. He had the worst passer rating in NFL history in a game, and he qualifies because he threw 16 passes.
How the fuck is that possible?
I'm gonna find this exact stat again.
Other things about this game: Mark Andrews is the Ravens' all-time receiving yards leader and receptions record. Good for Mark Andrews. He scored on a fucking end around. Who the fuck is handing off to Mark Andrews?
Naked bootleg with Mark Andrews. Fake push, naked bootleg.
And he outran everybody. Known fastest guy on the Baltimore Ravens offense, Mark Andrews. That's who I think of.
Yeah, so if Shedeur Sanders would have spiked the ball on every single play, he would have had a 27 passer rating, and his passer rating was exactly half that, 13.5. But yeah, Mark Andrews, that was a great play call on that fourth down that Andrews scored on. It worked like an absolute charm. Myles Garrett, another 4 sacks. He has 10 the last 3 weeks. He's been ridiculous. I think he's the 3rd best edge rusher of all time.
Wow.
Behind Lawrence Taylor and Reggie White. I mean, who would you put ahead of him?
I don't know.
I think he's that good.
I'm not gonna pretend like I can rank the top 10 edge rushers ever off the top of my head. I know Bruce Smith comes to mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bruce Smith maybe.
If you're talking about longevity, but like Myles Garrett is getting into some rare territory here. I don't know. He's got to be the front runner for DPOY, right?
He's minus money. He's like minus 130 or something.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine. But he was awesome today. He kept the Browns in this game for a large portion of it. He did. Lamar Jackson played awful, by the way.
He did not play well.
Did not have a good game.
The Browns' defense, the defense is good because they have Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
I will say, I don't know why the Ravens think every single year that they can just go out there with Zay Flowers as the only fucking receiver on that team. Like, dude, Lamar Jackson, it's impressive that he puts up, like, the numbers that he does with these weapons on offense. Like, they suck. Derrick Henry hasn't particularly been, like, he played well today. He has not been, like, particularly good this year. Their weapons on offense are not great.
Ravens fans, none of you are listening to this, but if you are, why the fuck does Isaiah Likely not get more looks? I promise you he's better than Mark Andrews. I think he's probably the best pass catcher you have on your football team, to be perfectly honest with you. I will never understand why he doesn't get more looks. I know he broke his foot, and he's, like, not been the same at all this season. But, like, I'd give him more fucking targets. I don't know. Broncos 22, Chiefs 19. The Chiefs are 5-5. Are we worried?
I would be... maybe a little bit.
You said they're still the favorites to win the Super Bowl, though, right?
They were the favorites to win the AFC for, like, 10 minutes, and then now they're back to 3. But they're, like, real close to being the favorite to win the AFC.
I think if they make the playoffs, they still win the AFC.
I agree with you. I wouldn't want to be the team that has to play the Chiefs in the first round.
If the Steelers win the division by default somehow, it's going to be Patrick Mahomes. and they're gonna lose by fucking 50.
Yep.
Like I don't know a way to explain it. Like I just don't know how to explain it to people who are like mad at us right now, and they're like, guys, like a home playoff game, the Steelers would certainly beat the Chiefs. They're 5-5. I don't know a way to explain it to you without being like playoff Patrick Mahomes. It's just different. It'll just be different. And I think they'll still win the AFC if they make the playoffs pretty easily. If they don't make the playoffs, holy shit, it's going to be the Wild West in the AFC. I really don't fucking know. Because flip a coin, you don't know what Baltimore team, what Buffalo team you're getting on a weekly basis. The Colts, I think, are frauds, but man, I don't know. If the Chiefs aren't in it, who the fuck knows in the AFC?
Who knows if the Steelers get it and the Chiefs don't? You never know. You never know.
Could be Mason Rudolph and Will Howard leading us to the bowl.
Could you imagine Mason Rudolph starting the Super Bowl?
No, I can't imagine.
Yeah. Probably 'cause it's not possible. But
this is what I was talking about with Jack before we started recording. This is like if Daniel Jones makes the Super Bowl before the Steelers win a playoff game this decade, just put me to rest.
Just delete the franchise.
Just start over. Sunday night game was fucking boring. Eagles 16, Lions 9. Dan Campbell, my God.
It was one of the worst coach games I've ever seen.
Not an exaggeration.
They were, 0 for 4 on fourth downs.
0 for 5.
0 for 5 on fourth downs. And then they get a fourth down. So they attempted fourth downs 5 times. Then they had 4th and 10 from like their own 45 with 5 minutes left, down 2 scores. And they punted it. Like, you got to have some sort of consistency with your decision making. Like, that makes no sense. And then this is an underratedly poor aspect of Dan Campbell's performance as a head coach today. They sent the 2 minutes and 3 seconds on the clock. Play clock's like winding down. There's like 10 seconds on the play clock. They have their offense out there down 10. When it was a 54-yard field goal on 4th and 17. They had their offense out there, and they got bailed out by the Eagles calling a timeout. Because if you're the Lions, you can't burn your own timeout, and you can't take a 5-yard penalty to make it a 59-yarder in bad kicking conditions. I don't even know what the thought process was sending the offense out there, and I don't know why after the timeout they were all of a sudden like, okay, yeah, and they just randomly decided like, oh, I'm gonna make the right decision and send the kicker out there. It was really bad.
Yeah, it was really, really bad. I can't watch the Eagles repeat as Super Bowl champs. I just can't fucking do it. Rams, please save me. Please. I can't do it.
The Eagles play such a boring brand of football, too. Like, every single game. When they're on primetime, I just get pissed off because every game is so boring.
Like, oh, my God. It's so fucking boring.
At least the tush push wasn't working very well today. That's the moral victory.
Ban the tush push, by the way.
Sirianni going for it on 4th and 1 from his own 30-yard line when they were up 10 with 3 minutes left was also incredibly fucking stupid.
Here's a couple of things that I'm for. Here's a couple of things that I'm a pro for. All right. I am pro banning the tush push because it's gotten to a point, Hawk, where the refs cannot properly officiate it. The Eagles constantly jump offsides constantly. They get a head start every single time, and the refs don't see it because it doesn't matter because they're such a massive humanity. If you cannot officiate it properly, it needs to go. Here's another thing. Jameson Williams humping the goalpost, doing the Antonio Brown. I'm pro humping the goalpost. I don't think that should have been a penalty.
Yeah, why is that a penalty?
Let the guys celebrate, all right? Maybe I'm biased because Antonio Brown doing that will be forever ingrained in my memory. I remember watching that live, but I'm pro humping the goalpost. Let the guys do that, especially a guy like Jameson Williams, who obviously has a lot of personality. When he breaks off a big play like that, let him fucking celebrate. He's not doing the finger guns or anything that they like to call penalties for, or making any rude gestures. He's just humping the goalpost.
I mean, he scored in the playoffs and gave back shots to the ground, and they didn't flag him for it. So, how is this any worse?
He can hump the ground, but he can't hump the goalpost? What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
This is bullshit, Roger.
Yep.
I'm sick of it. We're a pro humping the goalpost podcast.
Yes.
We're a pro humping podcast.
I'm a pro touchdown celebration podcast. You should be able to do literally whatever you want as long as I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know. I think you should just be able to celebrate however the hell you want.
Let the guys celebrate.
Let them celebrate.
Let them do what they want.
Let's have some
Touchdown's a
fun.
big deal. It's a really
It
big
is.
deal. Cowboys Raiders Monday night game as we close week number 11 out in the National Football League. Crazy it's week 11, dude. We're on the downhill of the season. Makes me sad.
Yep.
I'm like mildly excited for this game. Can't lie. I think this could be some points.
I think it could be a good game. Yeah.
Defenses are just shit on both sides. Cowboys offense is a lot of fun as always. Raiders, I think I still have faith in Geno Smith that he can chuck it around. I mean, certainly on the Cowboys,
Especially
defense.
on the Cowboys. I think anybody can.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll take the Cowboys, obviously.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Cowboys to win too. They're going to bounce back. It's a good spot.
Pro Dak Prescott podcast.
Yeah, Dak's so good.
As we close things out here on the standard, Jack, we'll try to do a little bit of a preview later in the week, obviously, for this game against the Chicago Bears. Big one for the Steelers. Big
Massive
road
one.
test. Mason Rudolph's going to be starting. Win, loss, draw. What do you think happens?
I'm going to say we win. I just think the Bears are just, I know that being due isn't real. They are so due for a loss. There's no way that team's going to 8-3 and winning 8 games in a row. They started 0-3, right?
They were 0-2.
0-2. Okay, there's no way they're going to go 8-1 in their last 9 games. I don't believe that. I don't think there's any way. No shot.
I don't think there's any way Mason Rudolph could beat them. I don't think there's any way. When it's Mason Rudolph playing the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I don't know, man. Like, I just watched the Bears, and I just didn't think they were any good today. Like, I feel like...
Yes, but I think the Bears, dude, it's so weird because Brian Flores owned them week 1. I think he owned them today, too. He about had them dead to rights if it weren't for a Devin Duvernay insane kickoff return.
And 3/4 of 9 shitting his pants.
Yeah. When I put that shit on, just know I'm about to shit my pants on the football field.
Shout out 9. Unless there's less than 5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah. 9 is in rare air with Kenny Pickett is guys I absolutely would just give up on after year 1. You just got to fucking kick them to the curb. It'll be interesting to see what the Vikings do.
I bet you he's the starter. He's the starter next year, if I had to guess.
That'd be so fucking sad. Like, Justin Jefferson has taken such a massive hit this year because he's just terrible. I know you're a big Jefferson guy, too.
I am. I'm a huge Jefferson guy.
Not good. I think the Steelers lose this game. I know the Bears are due, but I just think the Bears... Listen, the Steelers defense played good this week. I've played these games before. They're going to look like shit against this Bears offense. I don't know, dude. I just think the Bears have too many guys offensively, and I know I'm a big, Bears glazer. I think Caleb is going to be able to avoid TJ Watt and Nick Herbig. Maybe Alex Highsmith is able to.
As can every other quarterback in the NFL.
I mean, Caleb Williams is the best sack evader in the NFL, but yes, anybody can avoid TJ Watt. You know the meme of Drewski running down the hall, and then he's like panting, gasping for air? That is going to be TJ Watt trying to get Caleb Williams next week. So for now, I'll pick the Chicago Bears to win. Hope I'm wrong. Again, hope I'm really wrong, guys. But a big win for our Pittsburgh Steelers, but a big blow to the quarterback room, obviously. We'll see what Aaron Rodgers' timeline is, and we'll go from there. So thank you all for listening every single week to this. We have a lot of fun doing it, recording it, and stay tuned. Got a lot more coming. We'll be here, same time, same place, next week, right here on The Standard.